Welcome, gentlemen. Steve Mayeda here with the TSL podcast, and today we're talking about getting started with our relationships. And this is a very important tool for men because if you start your relationship right, if you do these things, you're going to buy yourself enough time to nurture what really makes that relationship. So in order to have a great relationship or great relationships with women in your life, the beginning part, the first couple dates, the first couple weeks, within that first month is pivotal. What you do to have an amazing, lasting relationship. And of course, many times they don't work. There's so much that goes into it. But if you do not have this foundation, you'll never get there. That's what we're talking about in today's TSL podcast. And we're actually pulling it straight off the Austin Men's Development Board. The Austin Men's Development Board is a free board where you can go to now and you can post different questions. There's massive amounts of alumni that are there active talking to you and sharing their different experiences. But what I really recommend is if you're into what we're doing with men's development, like if you go to the free stuff link, you can get a video program on our monthly fitness workout. You can get a video program on social dynamics, all for free. You can get PDFs on text messaging, dating, or tapping into your purpose. If you like this, what you want to do is you want to step it up to something like AMD Plus or Men's Development Excellence, where we really work as a group of men. You know, somebody on the YouTube channel, some hater said like, oh, if I join your $60 a month club, I'm sure life will be great. The fact of the matter is every guy on that $60 a month club kicks ass at life. He works at life. He has a community with people to work with in his life. Life is a challenge. You need people who have your back. You need people who know you. You need the accountability to be your best self. This isn't blowing smoke up anyone's ass. This is the real deal. So check that out at the free stuff link down below and take part in our different free products as well, man. They're great. They'll help you improve your life in every single way of your life. In any case, let's get into this question and really the depth of it. So he writes in here, I'll keep it anonymous, but if you're on the board, you can check it out. He said, so I've been dating this woman for the past few weeks, actually 2 months now, and I finally spoke to her about where things are going. I've been incredibly frustrated with her not opening up, which made me want to discuss things in person. She said she doesn't feel the romantic spark, enjoys hanging out with me, but she also says she likes building friendships before dating. Anyway, this annoyed me. She said I was emotionally vulnerable around, I'll leave this out, but a major family event that was very traumatizing and emotional that he went through, and that she wanted to see how he processed through it. And he says, man, come on, using that as an excuse when you accepted dating me, come on. So he says, luckily I've been dating other women, and at time I've actually felt that she could be relationship material. Part of me feels angry, but I know that this is my ego talking to me because I felt rejection. It's good insight. And her dragging it along, but is also good because towards the end of things, I was quite bored of how things were going with her and found excitement when I dated other people. So here's the thing. He actually asked a question about should I unfriend her or not, or stop talking to her. There's a lot to this, and what we need to understand as men is that if we want to have good relationships, the responsibility is on us. There's plenty of problems with other women. There's plenty of stuff to bitch about. In our men's groups, we bitch about it all the time. We go, man, I can't believe she said that. Women are crazy and so on. But there's a huge difference with how we talk about sorting through our development than you get in these other groups, like the red pill groups or the hardcore PUA groups, the MGTOW groups and so on, which don't have relationships. But we don't take our blame out on women. We bitch about it, we complain, we're men. I mean, since the history of men and women, we do that. But responsibility has to be on us. It has to be on us. Okay, so that's number one. And when we put responsibility on us, then we can accept these things that we can do in a relationship to give us the foundation to have a good relationship. Remember, that's what this is about. This is very important, guys. If you want to have a good relationship, you've got to establish these things, and they're all under your control. If you make it about somebody else's problem, you've basically signed a contract to be miserable the rest of your life, assigning blame and so on. So what I can do in a relationship, and we'll get to the sides of her after this, to make it better is, number one, I need to make an emphatic emotional connection. So if I'm dating multiple people, there's nothing dishonest or misrepresenting about this unless you directly lie, but you need to connect with her on the deepest level of her and the deepest level of you. If you do not do that, she's going to forget you. Emotional connection is the longest lasting type of hook or foundation that you can give anything. All right. So this is very important. Like a lot of times as men, we talk about, oh, I'm going to be dominant. I'm going to be alpha. I'm going to wear these things or broadcast something to society that makes me have this advantage over women. That's great. And you should do that. But if you only do that without the ability to emotionally connect with somebody, that girl's going to be gone. Okay, because, women are emotional, men are emotional too. And the more that we get into this discussion of, I've got to be alpha dudes, those guys that are obsessed with that tend to act more like the stereotype of a woman. So they get caught up in gossip and all this, fucking superficial bullshit and does this mean that fucking crap. But anyway, the thing is that we need to learn to connect. So you can have a great presence, you can have great social value, you can have a great reputation, you can be dominant. I don't care. But you have to emotionally connect. She needs to know at some point that whatever emotion she has, she can share it with you. She can give herself emotionally to you. So that means when she's panicked, when she's in doubt, when she's wondering what this is, when she's heard about something, when she's afraid. And as we know, women get all wound up about all these things, that she can share that with you and that you have value towards knowing what that is with her. That's very important. So if she is very common, women will say, what is this? What is happening here? I want to know what this is. In fact, what's funny about this question is that was asked by him and not her. Once again, the stereotype of a female, there's nothing wrong with this, but a lot of guys bitch about this. Girls are always asking, they're always putting all this pressure on it. But now we see more men doing that. We see more men in that. A lot of guys who are obsessed with this alpha dynamic say that's chasing. If you put yourself in that position, you'll ask it. It has more to do with your general dynamic of things, and emotional sharing will get you out of it. So let's say she says, well, what is this? I want to know what this is. Are you ready to commit? Are you ready to do anything? And we're like, whoa. We've just been dating 2 weeks. We've just been dating a week. We've just had sex once, or we're almost about to have sex, or whatever the situation is. Like, why are you asking all these questions? Fuck. And us as a man, we want to answer them logically. The worst thing we can do, because this is really resistance coming towards emotion. How can we give security to that? How can we give feeling to that? One of the most important things that we know about the overall relationship dynamic, so this is about getting started in a relationship, but if you already have a relationship, one of the most important things is that you give that woman security and you make her feel special. So two keys. If you don't do that, they panic. They go crazy, right? So what we need to do is we need to be able to secure that. So how do we do that? How do we take a woman's emotion and not go down the rabbit hole that so many of us as men have done and become confused by it? So what we have to do is we have to then hear it. We have to listen to it. We have to say, oh, okay, what are you talking about? Oh, before you make this about me and what I want and all these things, what are you saying? You want a relationship? You want these things? What's going on? What are you afraid of here? Well, I just don't want to give too much of myself, and I'm sick of people using me. And you hear this script that women go along, and it's so crazy because you'd almost think that there's this manual they follow because they tend to say the same things, right? Well, what is this? Why are we doing this? I just need a definition. Just tell me what this is. I don't care if you've been with other people. Just tell me the truth. This is important for me to just know. I just want to know, and I'm not going to get angry. And then you tell her and she gets angry, right? You say, oh, well, I was dating somebody else or whatever. This isn't how we have to communicate. We need to communicate emotionally. So one of the things that we would specifically say to that would be hey, look, we're talking about a lot of stuff here, and if you want to know, when I'm with you, I'm 100% with you. And the rest of the time I'm living my life, and to be honest, we just met. I do. You are relationship material to me, whatever that means. But for me to be a man to you, for me to be somebody that has your back and what I feel is the value of a relationship, that's a big commitment, and I need more time for that. And you, more specifically, you're saying, I don't know if you're saying you want to be with me, but if you want to be my woman, that's a big commitment. I don't know if you've thought about stepping up to that. Right now, you might just be having your head spin about, am I in danger? Am I going to get used? But I'm talking about some serious thing. If you want to play the game of real life, if you want to play the game of a real relationship, like, you got to know what that is. So really there, it's like, listen to them, all right? Don't argue their logic, and give your own establishment of logic to it, which is like, I value what you value. I value a relationship that means a lot to me. I'm not ready to commit to that. Okay, and you probably aren't. You're probably in some, emotional tailspin of stuff, and hey, I want you to know that's okay. The result of this isn't dominance. The result of this isn't that you won. Those could be parts of it. The result of it is she was able to share her emotions with you. She was able to bring a point of drama to you that's going to happen more and more in a relationship. She was able to put it out there, and you were able to calm it. That is what's important. So you need that emotional foundation. If you're not having that, you cannot, as a man, have relationships. You will fail over and over again. Women will leave you. Women will say the same things that they told this guy. It's like, well, I just don't feel the spark. It's not about the spark. We'll talk about the spark here in a second. It's about, can you manage her emotions? Can you handle them? Can you relax them? Can she come to you? And can she be calm with it? That's huge. Just as I said, all a woman wants in a relationship, the main foundation, not all that she wants, is that she wants to be seen as special. She wants to be cherished, but she also needs security. But in the opposite side of that, a man, what he wants is he wants to be believed in. And can she offer you that? You can even bring that up to her. That's what I feel. You don't know enough about me to believe in me. You don't know enough of me to give me that, and I'll need that at some point. Can you step up to that? Or are you trying to jump too quick because your emotions of fear are there? The second thing that you need to start your relationships and give them a good ground is sex. You need sex. And this is where we're talking about the spark. You need to be able to deliver in bed. So here's one of the things. I was always so good with sex that if I had sex with her, which was always right away, it was like within the first couple hours of dating them that we would be having sex. It was so good that it meant something to them. It was so good that it provided an amazing opportunity for them to connect with me, right? They felt like a woman. They felt physically. They felt emotionally. They were able to give themselves. There's a different dynamic. So there's a dynamic of where we are emotional and laying the groundwork for femininity for, but we also need to lay the groundwork of their physical femininity, their sex. They need to be able to orgasm, or even if they don't orgasm, they need to feel comfortable. They need to do the same dynamic of being able to give to you their full expression, have you take it, absorb it, and put it back to them. It needs to mean something, and if you're not doing that, once again, your relationship will be plagued, or the beginnings of your relationship will be plagued with doubt, questioning, what is this? Should I date this guy? Should I be around him? Whatever, all these different things. And see, this is really it. If we don't have those two dynamics, and if you want to know about sex, guys, I'm not going to go into it too much here because we're also about to start our Sunday call, but check out the Sexual Escalation or the Philosophy of Sex playlist. I'll put them up here. So the Sexual Escalation playlist, click on it. You find all about having good sex. It will tell you. It will tell you everything that you need to know. And then if you want to know about the philosophy of sex, what a woman thinks, what's going to give her value, you can click on that. That is massive, right? And it's very easy for you to learn. And be in our groups, man. Join, like if you're serious about this and want to have good relationships, the $60 a month club, I think that's so great, is a great fucking investment. It's fucking amazing, man. It's amazing. But that being said, if you deliver sexually, then these things don't happen. See, if I emotionally connected with a woman, all right, that then buys me time for months. Not even if the sex wasn't there. That buys me time for months of her giving herself to me. If I can handle that as a man, that buys me the time. I don't have to worry about it. My relationship is never questioned. None of these things happen. None of this drama, comes in. Dating is not hard. It's so easy. If I can be the man to emotionally connect, if I can then be the man that sexually delivers, and even just that, I got 4 months. I can fuck up in every way, even emotionally, and that will lock me into a relationship for better or for worse. But if I can't have the opportunity, so many times I was unprepared as a man to have that relationship, but if I can't have the opportunity to be sexual, man, if I can't have that, when am I ever going to get it? I'm just going to get more and more angry and join all these groups and pissed offness and look at stats as the real life and what's true and factual, must mean something, and trying to figure it out without using my dick or using my masculinity or using my emotion, but using my logic. It just doesn't make sense, man. So we want to have these good relationships. If you can't have them, it's your responsibility to fix them. And you can fix them. You absolutely can. It's so fucking easy. But why are you going through life blind? If you're going through life and you're dating people and you don't hook somebody into a relationship within dating 3 or 4 people, we'll say 4 people, then you have a problem with your output. Fix it. In any case, guys, this is the TSL podcast. This is a discussion that we have all the time. We're about to start our Sunday call. In fact, I'm 2 minutes late. But the thing is that in those calls where you could, if you signed up for MD Excellence, if you were a part of that group, you'd be on our Sunday calls, you'd be on our Wednesday calls, you'd get tons of material, you'd be on our Facebook groups, you'd be connecting with other men who find this as a priority in their life. And when you don't do that, it's so easy to get caught in a cycle of, just false information, misinformation, especially